What is up, everyone? My name is Carina, and welcome to the first episode of the Just Livin Life Show. And here I would like to welcome my awesome friend and also an awesome boxing trainer, my friend JR. Thank you for being the first guest on this
Thanks
show.
so much for um, allowing me to be your first guest.
Bro, thank you.
Yeah, for sure,
It's
for sure.
my pleasure. I don't even know how to start this. I'm a little
I'm honored.
nervous.
I'm honored to be the first one.
Yeah,
Yeah, me
so
too.
for those that don't know who you are one awesome, an incredible friend of mine, and you motivate me and you push me a lot and you bring out the best in me. Not only that, but you're also an awesome boxing trainer. So tell us who you are for those that don't know who you are. Tell everybody who
Well,
you are.
I've been coaching for about 3 years now. I started off with Krav Maga self-defense. In the streets of Chicago. I got jumped, right? So
Yeah,
I
I
was one
know.
of those things where it's a low moment in my life, and I was like, yo, I need to protect myself,
Yeah.
and then I need to know how to protect myself. Not
Yeah.
only that, teach people how to protect
Yeah.
themselves. So I started off Krav Maga, and then I went to boxing. I started teaching boxing at Krav
How
Maga
old were
school.
you when you
Man, I was
just started
man,
all
I
of
was
this boxing?
man, I was late in my adult life, around 30,
Mhm.
30, 31, 32. That's when I started. Not only that, I've always been athletic.
Mhm.
So I started off as a personal trainer,
Yeah.
and then after being a personal trainer, then that's when I went out, that one night, and then like I just got jumped for a
Wow.
reason, man. That was rough, but so I wanted to know how to protect myself, and
Yeah.
I had to teach people how to.
Did that really spark your interest and be like,
Yeah,
okay, I have to
yeah,
protect myself at this
yeah,
time? It's
yeah, kind of
like okay, that really sparked it. All right, I gotta do something about
yeah, I
this.
gotta do something about it. So,
Okay.
um, yeah, so all in all, I found that helping people kind of made me um, have a satisfaction in my life, you
I
know.
see that. I see
So
that in the classes. How are you such a people person? Like when I see you in the boxing classes, you just radiate such positivity and
yeah,
optimism. Like you get everybody going. And for
yeah,
me, I know there's a lot of trainers here,
yeah,
but you're definitely one of my top ones because of just how positive you are. And you I see you you just high five everybody and encourage everybody. Hey, talk amongst each other.
yeah.
How are you such an awesome people person? How did
Well,
you
it
learn
didn't
this?
it
Or
didn't it didn't come it didn't come to fruition. Like it built over time.
okay.
Man, I used to be an introvert, right? So yeah, I
Really?
used to be an introvert. I didn't know how to socially interact with people, right?
Really?
Yeah, but
Because
yeah, right, right. So,
wow.
um, I think people evolve, people change over
Yeah,
time, and people
absolutely.
are
Yeah.
learning every consistently. We learn on a consistent basis. Every day we experience something, and
Yeah.
we either take whatever we get, and we soak it in as in our character, right? So over time it became to a point where it's like, hey, I'm networking, I'm knowing people, I'm knowing how to interact with them, I know I know how to talk to them even more, and then it became to a part where it's more of a service. How can I help you, and
Yeah. Okay.
how can I make you better?
Yeah.
There's one, I don't know who said it, but as a leader, you don't you don't teach
Mhm.
people. You don't
Yeah.
teach, or you don't show, or you don't say them to follow you. You actually serve them to follow
Yes.
you.
Yes.
So
I agree with you.
it's
Yeah. I've heard that before too.
a good king is not knowing how to rule. It's
Mhm.
knowing how to serve.
Yeah,
So
that's really
that's
true.
that's what I take it from to heart. Where
Mhm.
it's like, all right, how do I serve people? Like
Yeah.
that makes me happy. So protecting my loved ones, knowing how to protect myself, and knowing
Yes.
how to teach people how to protect themselves. Just basic punches, know
Yeah.
how to slip,
Exactly.
know how to cover, all that. That that to me is much better than currency, you know.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's really
So
valuable. That's really
yeah.
valuable. And then you are just so optimistic and happy. Who inspires you? What motivates you? Not necessarily a person. Could be things or just what inspires you? What keeps you going? What gets you hyped?
Um, a community part of it inspires me, right? Just having a sense of belonging to a community. Like knowing if I'm getting stronger, if I'm getting happy, the people around me has to be happy too, right?
Yeah.
So, um, in that route, having the better attitude. Sometimes we're human. We're human. You do have that time where it's like, hey, things are shitty. Things are
Oh yeah.
things are not looking great,
It's not
right?
sunshine and rainbows all the
Yeah,
time.
it's not sunshine and rainbows all the time. Um, but you have to take the day by
Oh
day
yeah.
attitude,
I agree.
and every time you come in, you want to try to make the day the best of your day, right? So, um, having a proper attitude and a proper mindset really helps out throughout the day, right? So it gets you through the day. So yeah, granted, some days it's really shitty,
Mm.
and you can't really do anything about it.
Nope.
Just sleep it off and then go
Mhm.
at it again the next day. As far as being optimistic, I've always had an optimistic in me,
Yeah.
like that energy in me ever since I was a kid. Um, my mom would always say, you live in a kind of like you live by the boat on a river just flowing through,
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Oh, I like that.
So so that's just me. That's just how I see things. It's life experiences,
Yeah.
right? It's uh, being optimistic is much better of an energy to 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 give out
Yeah.
than negative energy, giving out negative. Oh, it's so
Mhm.
exhausting, man. When
Yes.
you when you when you when you when you cry, get grumpy,
Mhm.
it's more exhausting than being happy and
Exactly.
smiling.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it.
And just a few minutes ago, we were talking about like how old you
Yeah,
are,
yeah, yeah.
and then I don't believe him. He looks in his 20s, and I never even knew this. And I've known you for at least over a year now.
Yep.
And to be honest, like age is really just a number. Because for
It
you,
is.
if I didn't, you told me 35.
35.
35. He does not look 35, and the reason why I say you're not 35 is because of just how young you are at heart. And like as I grow, I've just seen like wow, we're all just like big kids, to be honest. I mean, sure, not everyone acts like a kid all the time, but like, I don't know what it is about you, but you're just so young at heart, and you
Yeah.
just live life, and I'm like, how does he do that? I
Yeah.
mean,
Well,
you're
I'm
just out there
Asian.
living.
Well, I'm Filipino. That's another thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. It's just that you don't forget the kid in you. Don't forget the kid
Oh
in you, right?
no.
You never forget the
I
kid in
feel
you.
like I'm a 16-year-old
A lot of
sometimes
times,
too.
yeah, yeah. A lot of times, people when they become adults, they forget that that creativity inside them, and it
Yeah.
dies down, right?
And I see
So
that all the time, and it makes me like so sad. It's like
becomes
they become
mundane.
like a robot or something, kind
Yeah.
of just like the same routine
Yeah.
over and over. And I'm just like,
Right.
no, like
That's
you can still do a lot. Like
yeah.
it's not over. Like you can start whatever you want to start. You want to start boxing, go for it. You want to
Right.
start some side hustle, go for it. You're not too young.
Right.
Like,
Right.
just like go
Just
out
do
there,
it,
go for
right?
it. Yes,
Just do
exactly.
it. Just do what makes you happy, right?
Yes.
I put in my notepad in my computer. Never settle for anything
No,
less than
never.
happiness, right?
Mhm.
So whatever makes you happy, just do it, right? And I think that's the secret of youth, right? That's the
Yeah.
secret of being happy. That's the secret of being young, is never settle for anything that makes you happy. If it's not making you happy anymore, then why stick there,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
And a part of me is changing, right? Changing over time. I like changes. I like to adapt on things
And
that
let me ask you about that because I know not a lot of people like change, and the reason why it's because you're used to it, you know what to expect. I mean, you say that you like change. Why do you like change, and how do you deal with change, whether it's good change or like bad change? How do you deal with that?
um man, a mindset, just the mindset of being ready, being strong. I mean, there's there's times where you're given a situation where you have to change, right?
Yes.
There's times where you want to change, right? And both times you have to have a strong mindset. If you have a weak mindset, you're just gonna be like, oh my god, anxiety builds up,
Yes.
depression
Yep.
builds
Yep.
up,
Yep. Yep.
depression builds up because you can't handle the change. But if you have a strong mindset, you're willing to tackle on that that change, adapting to it, you know, then you'll be willing to change along with it, right? So there's another thing that I like to say: champions adapt, right?
Yeah.
Champions
Yes.
adapt. You know
It's true.
how the Toronto Raptors adapted to the Golden State Warriors, right? I don't know if you know basketball, right? But
No,
like,
I don't.
or all right, let's go back boxing, right? But
Yeah.
boxing, right? You feel someone out. You're in the championship round, or in any fight, you feel someone out. You're feeling someone out, and then you adapt to the things, right? You adapt to the changes that he makes, that his rhythm, right? So, yeah, champions adapt, winners adapt. So you gotta adapt to change. If there's changes in your life that you need to do, you want to do, or you wanna, or you're given a situation where you have to change, or it's a difficult situation, you have to adapt. So
there's no other choice.
there's no other choice. All right, you either sink or swim.
Basically, yeah.
Right. So you gotta swim. So.
And every day there's always change, no matter what.
And every day there's always change, no matter what. So you know it's adapting. Yeah, that's it.
And I did have additional questions for you.
Oh,
I did
shoot.
write them down, and like I knew I had to write them down. I know myself well enough. It's like if I don't write it down, I'm not gonna remember.
Hey man, we're freestyling the whole time.
I know,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. And then so basically, I want to ask you, how do you define success? Like how would you define it?
Define success. My success for me is doing what makes you happy, and getting paid while doing it, right? Like it's or earning a currency, earning a currency that truly doesn't truly doesn't make you feel like it's something that you have to do. It's I have to. It's a want to do now, right? It's like, hey, I want to do this. It's something that it's a success for me. Success for me is wanting to do something and getting paid for it, or earning currency from it, right? That's success.
Yeah, and I think that it's cool enough that you're like a boxing instructor, and I see how passionate you are with just teaching everyone around you, and just like hitting the bags and this and that. Seeing you on your Instagram stories, your Snapchat stories, and I see you like putting in that work, like kind of how I think you've probably put it in your captions before, like working when no one else is watching. Like you have to keep putting in the work even if no one is watching you.
Right. So you have to, you also have to train. You have to do the work yourself, right? Because if you can't do, if walk the talk, basically, right? You gotta walk the talk. So success to me is not man, I don't know. I'm stuck.
It's okay.
I'm getting
just
kind
let
of
it
like
flow. Like kind of how you tell me, like just let the punches flow. Like kind of same concept here.
So success to me is not about money. It's about giving and servicing others, right? It's when you service others, the real success for me is how people are changing in front of my eyes, because I'm part of their lives, right?
Yeah, you're part of my life, and I'm very, very thankful. Like you bring out the best in me.
You're changing, girl, and I
what
like.
Are you gonna do Hold on. Here's a funny thing, like with boxing. Like anytime we say, "All right, bye, see you later," we kind of either like we high five or we're trying to like go like this.
Do this or it doesn't. It's anything. Good work.
Yeah, a lot of times we just go.
So success to me is not about currency. It's about doing what you love and knowing that you're making an impact, either small or big.
Impacts, I'll say that.
Right. So either small or big. To me, it's leaving a legacy behind, or leaving
something
a
behind.
feeling of emotion behind. Like, oh my God, he changed me for the better. Or,
you did.
So you're evolving in front of my eyes ever since I got here.
Oh, well, thank you.
Ever since I got here.
I was 40 pounds heavier, like when you first got here.
For sure. You were like keeping your head down. You weren't talking too much. But then you
really transformed me. Like I'm not trying to put you on a pedestal here, but you really did. Like I had a good boxing. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. So you really ignited that, because before that, I kind of did it.
Yeah.
And then you're kind of like, I don't know, you just sparked something within me, and it's like, what am I doing? Like, why am I not doing this more? And from there, kind of just, just doing it like all the time. I'm working on a painting right now.
The giraffe, right? I saw
that. The giraffe one. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, I think you saw my paintings too that one time.
Yeah.
Like I was painting Mickey Mouse and
Yeah, I
the
saw
Crab
that one. I
Mickey.
think that was probably like the first artwork that I've ever seen. It's just like I didn't know he painted, and it's kind of like it goes back to like you can't judge a person by its cover
Yeah.
because like you really never I didn't know you were 35 years old. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know that. You can like honestly, you just never can judge anyone like
Right.
anymore because you don't know what stories they have. You don't
Mhm.
know what you can learn from them because like
Mhm.
everybody's like a walking story. Everyone has so much knowledge
That's
that
right.
you have no idea. Like in here, there's so many people. Like I didn't know like Tui for example. Like I didn't know she was like a psychologist. I didn't
Yeah.
know like any of that, and like other people around here, like just talking
They have a
amongst
story
others.
to tell. They have a
Yes, and I
story to
love
tell.
it. Like
Right.
that's why I love coming here because everyone is so open-minded and just cool and genuine and like you know.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like you really just like radiated on like everybody.
Yeah.
And it's always a good time coming here to like the title, not trying to like promote title here or something like that. They're not sponsoring this at
No,
all.
for real.
But like I've been coming here for 3 years and it's honestly the best thing I've ever done like doing boxing.
Yep.
Because when I started boxing, I was like at a super low point in my life. I was sad, I was depressed, I was pissed, I was angry. And then I saw a Groupon for unlimited boxing classes and I'm like, you know what, I'll give this a try. I've always wanted to do it. And like if I love it after that month, I'll sign up.
Yeah.
Look who signed up and stayed.
That's good, man. Yeah, boxing
Yeah.
is if like if your psychologist
Mhm.
isn't there or it
Yeah.
called off, it's
so,
the second.
it's amazing.
It's the
It's
second
such
therapy.
great therapy.
Yep.
Like you're not gonna look crazy if you want to hit something or like kick something. Like
Mhm.
everyone's hitting a bag, everyone's kicking it. You're not gonna look
Yeah.
crazy if
At
you
your own pace
hit
too.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just you in the bag. And
I love
honestly,
it.
yeah. And honestly, it's directing your emotions to it. You know, it's like and not only that, it's a good exercise.
Oh my
It's-
gosh, yes.
it's
Dude,
one of
I
the best exercises.
transformed a lot.
Yeah,
I was
yeah, I know.
chunkier before.
And you're getting it too, man. So like
Yeah.
you're evolving into going to do
And I
to
really
lifting.
hope that one day I can fight. And when I do this fight, one day I really hope I do. I want to lose.
Yeah.
I want to lose my first fight.
What?
I'll tell you why. Because I don't want to win and be like, oh, I won. It's
Yeah,
my
yeah,
first
yeah.
fight. No. I want to lose and be like, I want to go again. Because you're gonna have that like
Right, that
adrenaline
fighting feeling,
rush.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that sounds crazy. It's like, don't you want to win? Well, yes, but knowing me, I don't want to get arrogant and be like, ha, I won. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
no,
yeah.
I don't
got
want
it.
that. I want
That's
to
a
lose.
good mentality.
So then that way I'll be like, okay, I can do this next time,
Yeah.
and just like
Yeah.
have that adrenaline rush
Yeah.
of like, oh my gosh, I did it. I want to do it
Yeah.
again.
It's a good mentality to
Yeah.
have.
I know that
That's-
sounds a bit crazy
no,
to say,
no, it's,
but
it's a
like,
good mentality to have. I see your point.
if anyone wants to fight, you know, in the future,
Get her.
I apologize about that. My camera sometimes like it starts to like flash like when it's about to cut off, and I don't want our
Oh.
conversation to cut off when we're like
Got
like
it.
having like a
Part
good
two.
conversation rolling. Yeah, in a way, I'll just like mash it up together.
I gotcha.
But back to what we were talking about, just like boxing and fighting. It's just awesome, and
Yeah.
it's intimidating. I'll agree at first, but after it, it's so amazing. Like it's so therapeutic.
Yep.
It's just like after you finish a workout, like you're drenched in sweat and you
Yep.
feel like a champion.
Yeah.
Like I
yeah.
just feel like
Very
awesome.
empowering.
Yes,
Very
yes, it
empowering.
is.
It's one of those workouts where it's really different because
Yeah.
not only that, you add a skill set in your arsenal. You add a skill set in knowing how to punch, the mechanics of
Yes.
it, knowing how to use your body right. You know, being one with your body basically,
Yeah.
right? You're exhaling at a certain point.
Yeah.
You know.
There's so much to it.
Retracting back at a certain point and all that. Like your core too. You're exhaling at an impact. Tightening up that core, all of it.
And it's always like you always learn. Like you can never stop like learning in boxing. It's
Yeah.
always like you can always.
There's always
improve.
levels. There's always
Yeah.
levels to it, and
Yeah.
you know, I feel like I'm only scratching the levels of it right now. Even.
Really?
Yes. No.
Wow.
I mean, to me, I feel like boxing is a science that's never ending, man. But
I
it's
agree.
it's never ending research,
Yeah.
right? If you feel not only that of everything, right? If you feel like you know everything, that means you know nothing. A lot of times when a master think he knows it all, he becomes a student. So
Wow.
so um, uh, check the ego always check that ego. always strive on learning something.
Yeah.
Always strive on learning something. And I feel like that's another thing about happiness, right? Knowing that there's unlimited amount of knowledge that we need to soak,
Always.
right? So to me, what drives me is learning, right? What drives me is learning and then teaching what I know. So
And you execute that very well. 'Cause I
thank
mean,
you,
like
thank
I,
you.
from you, like that's gone on to me, and in turn, like I didn't even realize it. But yeah, like what you taught me, it's kind of like
Yeah,
yeah, like
that's
kind of
good.
just showing
Pushing
others too.
and going through, right?
Yeah, not necessarily saying, hey, my friend Jay told me this. Why
Yeah.
don't you try it? No, it's kind of like that. Kind of just became a part of my life, and kind of just naturally being able to share it with others too.
Yeah,
You know?
that to me is the real success, right?
Yeah.
Knowing that I could pass on something that I value or something that you think that you think is a value, and then you pass it on to somebody else, right? It doesn't really matter what it is, right? It's something that changed you for the better, right? And hopefully that changed everybody else for the better. So to me, that's success.
Wow.
Right?
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
for
really
sure.
deep too, and I
Yeah.
hope that you know
That
anyone.
that makes me happy.
Oh, yeah.
That should make everybody like you happy if you know that you changed someone for the better.
Yeah, no, yeah. Even with just doing my art and seeing like the reaction that someone when I
Yeah.
saw your reaction when I
Yeah.
gave you the wolf painting,
Yeah.
like to me that was just like the most gratifying like thing ever. Sure, you paid me for it, but I found so much more like just happiness and gratitude and just like oh my gosh, like I. Excuse me, I was able to make, you know, like someone else happy and bring
Yep.
someone else joy.
Yep.
And it's like, oh my gosh, like my art can do that?
Yep.
Like I never imagined that.
It's an awesome painting, man.
Thank you.
Oh,
I
man.
still have to do the
You
crow one.
snap. You snap.
Thank you.
You snap,
Thank you.
man. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I support you in what you do.
Thank you.
And,
That means a
and,
lot.
Yeah, you're evolving in front of my eyes, man. So
In a year,
that's a good thing.
like I'm going back through like my Snapchat. You know how Snapchat shows you like the
Yeah.
reminders of like
Yeah.
something from a year ago.
Yeah.
And I saw when we were like doing mitts, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that was a lot more like thicker. But then I'm like, oh wow, like all right, I've known Jay for like at least a little over a year now. I'm like,
Yeah.
I've progressed a
lot,
lot.
yeah.
Like physically, like emotionally, like just everything. Like
Yeah.
I've just transformed, and I'm
I
so
remember.
thankful.
Yeah, I remember you being quiet
Yeah.
almost all the time.
I'm a lot more louder.
Yeah. Now you just eased up.
Yeah.
And, man, yeah. Cause I remember you just 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 keeping your head down,
Mhm.
working, and then I remember just saying hi to you and just
Yeah.
being like, high fiving you.
Yeah.
Like, good job, girl. Let's do some mitts.
Yeah.
Just
I love
just
mitts.
just
Yeah.
easing it up to you and like, hey, come on, let's work on mitts.
Yeah.
I got something to show you. I gotta learn this
I
routine
know my
too.
favorite thing that we did was a Mayweather.
Mayweather? The
Yeah, we have to
Mayweather
do
Mayweather?
that. We have
Of
to do
course.
that. Once
All
my
right.
shoulder and wrist get better, but we will do that.
We will.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm evolving too. Like I'm learning with you.
Yeah.
So that's part of the Wolf and Crow.
Yeah.
Wolf and Crow is working together to achieve one goal.
Yeah.
And that's to eat, right? Wolf and crows, they hunt together, right? So the wolf hunts the prey, but he can't see the prey unless the
I
crow
didn't know this.
the crow gawks, right?
Yeah.
Or like the crow's flying around
Yeah.
because it has a different view, right? When he sees a prey, he gawks. That's when the wolf tries to get ready.
I didn't know that.
So that's what Wolf
Yeah.
and Crow is all about.
Oh
Wolf
my
and Crow
gosh, I
fitness.
never knew that. I always
So-
wondered why you had like wolf and crow.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wonder why. I'm like, I'm sure there's a story, and here's
That's the
like
story.
that story.
So working together to achieve one goal, working together to.
Okay. Do you want to plug in like your IG for that if you want to? I mean, feel free.
Yeah, Wolf and Crow Fitness. Follow me on IG. I don't barely use it right now,
Yeah.
but
I know you're active on your like main.
yeah,
Instagram
my main
account,
Instagram,
yeah.
my main Instagram.
I'll probably like put it here,
Yeah,
or,
right
you know,
there,
something.
or right there, right somewhere. But yeah, so I got 2 accounts. I got one for my personal, and I
Yeah.
got one for my fitness. Actually, the third one too,
And the
but
art one.
the art one.
Yeah.
But I got all of those, but I barely touched on them.
Yeah.
Knowing I'm busy here coaching.
Yeah. And then before we wrap this up, kind of like to wrap up this whole awesome conversation that we've been having, what's one piece of advice that you want to share with everyone? Just, it can be life, it can be career, business, whatever you want. What's one piece of advice that you've learned that you would want to share with everyone, like a takeaway?
One piece of advice. Um, Man, I have a lot of advices.
First thing pops up in your head.
But the one piece of advice that I feel like everybody needs to learn is that um, you can't you can't you gotta learn through life experience. You gotta whatever card you have that's given in life, you just gotta either take it as it is, play your cards right, fold. Doesn't like I'm going through some tandem like of gambling or
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But if you have your cards, you don't like your cards, but it's given to you. Gotta play through it. You gotta
Yeah.
play through it. That's and then you gotta play through it with a positive attitude. You know, just yeah, it might suck. It might suck. It might not be the right cards for you, but you gotta play through it. Right? You just gotta deal that card in, no matter what it is, right? So adapt, be happy with what you got, and and never settle for anything less than happiness. That's it. I don't know if that's a lot, but I
No,
think
that
it's
was
a lot of
good. That was
advice.
really good. And I hope that anyone that happens to watch this or like listen to this, that they
I hope so.
learn a lot from you, because I've learned a lot from you, and that's why I wanted you to be on here, because I've learned so. Thank you. I've learned so much from you, and I hope maybe just one takeaway, someone out there can just take it. I really hope that they're able to absorb
Yeah.
what we just talked
For
about.
sure, for sure.
So
Yeah.
thank you, Jay, for being on this show. It was
Thank
awesome.
you. Thank you.
We're goofballs, but seriously, bro, thank you so much for being on here today.
For sure, for
Thanks,
sure.
bro.
Thanks a lot. It's an honor to be here for your first ever podcast.
Yeah.
Woo!
Snap.
And many more to come, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, that's it. Peace out.
Peace out. Later.